Okay, so meanwhile over in the UK, this is in the UK, but it's still relevant if you're in the United States. A tweet from the Warrington Police Department. It says, overnight, 6 people have been summoned for offenses relating to the new coronavirus legislation to protect the public. These included out for a drive due to boredom, returning from parties, multiple people from the same household going to the shops for non-essential items. Okay, these are people that have broken the new laws. That very important law of not driving out of boredom. Now, how do they know that people are out driving because of boredom or because they're returning from a party? How do they know that? Well, I would assume it's because they're pulling people over at random and asking them where they're going and why. I don't know how else they could possibly know it. And then ticketing them if the reason is not approved by the government. Again, there's a million problems here. Just one that I'll point to briefly is how does this not increase the risk of spread? You know, you've got someone just going out for a drive, assuming they're obeying all the traffic laws. Now, if they're not obeying the laws, if they're speeding or being reckless, then give them a ticket for that. But assuming they're obeying the laws and not putting anybody in jeopardy, they're in their car. How are they going to spread the virus? Is it going to be like a drive-by spread? Are you afraid they're going to roll the window down and start coughing on random pedestrians as they drive by? Now, even if they did that, the chances that they would actually spread it that way seem to be slim to none. But again, if they do that somehow, if this is a crazed biological terrorist trying to spread the disease, then, arrest them for that. But if they're in the car and they're going for a drive out of boredom, I just don't see how they're putting anybody at risk. Now, you could say, well, they could get into an accident. Even if they're obeying all the traffic laws, there's a possibility of getting into an accident. Okay, yeah, there's a possibility, and then there's a risk of spread there. But where does that possibility come from? It comes because you got into an accident, and now you have to have an interaction with the police, probably if it's a fender bender, or even with maybe you end up in the hospital. But so your way of mitigating that is to guarantee that every time someone gets in a car, now they're going to have an interaction with police because you're pulling them over, so the police have to interact. And the reason the police are doing that is because if they don't do it, then there may be more interactions with police. And then it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. There's no reason to do this other than we have the power to do it. Now, back to the U.S., and I think the worst example of government overreach that we've seen here yet. This is, I'll let him speak for himself. This is Mayor Bill de Blasio in New York. Listen.
Everyone has been instructed that if they see worship services going on, they will go to the officials of that congregation. They'll inform them they need to stop the services and disperse. If that does not happen, they will take additional action up to the point of fines and potentially closing the building permanently.
Okay, so there you go. There's Bill de Blasio. Hey, you. You right there. Hit the subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It's somewhat appreciated.